Genesis 47, verses 29 to 31. As the time of his death drew near, Jacob called for his son Joseph and said to him, "Please do me this favor. Put your hands under my thigh and swear that you will treat me with unfailing love by honoring this last request. Do not bury me in Egypt. When I die, please take my body out of Egypt and bury me with my ancestors." So Joseph promised, "I will do as you ask." "Swear that you will do it," Jacob insisted. So Joseph gave this oath, and Jacob bowed humbly at the head of his bed.
Near the end of the book of Genesis, we get to listen in on a significant exchange between Joseph and his father Jacob, who was about to die. Jacob, who was also known as Israel, had settled in Egypt with his sons. The family had great possessions, and they were fruitful and multiplying greatly in Egypt as a result of God's provision. But when Jacob gets near the end of his life, he said, "I don't want to be buried here." So why would Jacob not want to be buried in Egypt? Remember, God had promised long ago to give his people a land where they would dwell, Genesis 12, verse 1 to 9, and that in that land he would display his glory and shower his blessings on his people for the spread of his glory to all peoples. And Jacob essentially says, "That is where I belong." Jacob's refusal to be buried in Egypt is even more remarkable when you consider that Egypt was a place of prosperity at this time, largely due to God's work through Joseph, Jacob's son. Yet Jacob wanted to be buried in Canaan. He trusted in what God had promised. Now here's how the author of Hebrews describes the forward-looking faith of God's people. "These all died in faith, not having received the things promised, but having seen them and greeted them from afar, and having acknowledged that they were strangers and exiles on the earth." For people who speak thus make it clear that they are seeking a homeland. If they had been thinking of that land from which they had gone out, they would have had opportunity to return. But as it is, they desire a better country, that is, a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared for them a city. Hebrews 11, 13 to 16. Now may we too lift up our eyes from this world and all that it offers, and look to the promises of God. For he has called us to another world, a heavenly country, a new heaven and a new earth.